What's going on, guys? Chris here at Palmer Aquatics, back with the fish tank madness. So today I want to talk about Aquarium Spider Wood. And yes, this is spider wood. I keep spider wood in a lot of my nano aquariums just because it looks completely amazing. And here's the deal with spider wood or aquarium driftwood in general. This stuff floats a lot of the time, and that's because, well, the obvious answer is because the wood itself has air within the cells of the wood. And as you can see, this piece sinks. So the question is, how do we get this stuff to sink? And I'm gonna touch base with this a little bit, but first I wanna show you this really cool build that I just got done doing. And this is the Aquarium 6-gallon rimless tank. And I put a couple pieces of spider wood in there. I think it looks absolutely amazing. The scape is kind of like hideous right now, but the plants will grow in. That's moneywort, the plant. And this is a different type here, and you can tell just like how good that looks 5 months later. I'm hoping to kind of do the same thing with that tank, and it'll kind of grow in. But I have all different kinds of wood in my tanks, all the way from just kind of grabbing branches in the woods to ordering fancy spider wood. I ordered this stuff on Amazon in particular, and that's usually my go-to for a lot of this spider wood because there's a couple of huge sellers that really put out great stuff. And I know it's scary buying wood for your aquarium online because yes, you can't hold it and feel it in person and see it, which kind of sucks, but just give it a chance. I'll throw a link in the description to the buyer that I use on Amazon. I've sent a lot of people there and they've all been super happy. So as far as getting your aquarium spider wood or driftwood not to float and getting it to sink, the trick to this is boiling your spider wood or aquarium driftwood in general. And yes, I know that a lot of people argue that when you boil wood, you're actually breaking it down faster. And yes, that is exactly true. So if you're against this, what you can do is just soak it in a 5-gallon bucket with maybe a weight put over it. But boiling it is an easy, sure, fast way to get your wood to boil in a couple of minutes. And the reason your aquarium driftwood or spider wood floats is because there is air trapped within the cells of the wood and it could not be released, and that's why it floats. But when you boil this stuff, that's when it kind of releases and it absorbs the water into the pores really fast. So as you can see, I'm kind of aquascaping this tank. I threw in some spider wood, some plants. This is an Aquarium rimless 6-gallon tank. I essentially planted with 100% free plants. So please don't judge me. I'm super cheap when it comes to my scapes and just my aquariums in general because I love them to be super low cost. And yes, this spider wood does look really cool. This is the stuff I got on Amazon. It's literally like between $10 to $14 shipped to your door in a couple of days. So I actually found a new piece of wood on the shorelines of a river near my house today. And I figured I would show you guys what happens when you go to throw it inside your aquarium. So here you go. Obviously, this piece of aquarium driftwood floats. And what sucks here is this is one of those pieces of wood that is too large to boil, unless you have a ginormous, tall, like 20-inch pot. So what do you do in this situation? What you're gonna wanna do is push the piece of wood to the bottom of the tank and then try to pin it with some rocks. Here, I'll show you and I'll set up the camera. All right, so what we're gonna do is come over here, and what we need is some rocks, and there's a couple right over here, or one decent sized rock will do. Usually what I do is just try to pin it, or you can try to if you can submerge it into some sand. But yeah, it's not the easiest thing to do. So grab some rocks. This is dragonstone, and pin it down. And what it's gonna take is maybe like a week or two with the rock like that, and she should be good, or waterlogged per se, in a couple of weeks. It doesn't look the best in your tank temporarily, but it is what it is. A trick that I've done in the past you know, because I have like the 400-gallon pond downstairs, what I'll usually do is throw all of the wood inside the pond for like 4 months, and then after that I can go ahead and use it. There are more pretty ways to do this. You could wrap string around the wood, etc. Obviously, something like aquarium spider wood is a lot easier to get to sink than something like this ginormous piece because we can boil it. So let me know, guys, aquarium spider wood, getting it to float or sink. Hopefully this helped you. This tank is a mess. Please, I do a lot of like tutorial stuff on this, so it is what it is.